When it comes to niche, there are two pieces. You may already have something which you want to make your niche, or you might want to start from scratch because you don't have a niche. When you don't have a niche, it's going to take much longer. But my recommendation always have been all the niche is going to come from what you already have. And many times we ignore this thing. We start into this race of following other people. And then we end up somewhere we don't want to be. Follow what you already have. You don't have to reinvent the thing. You spent 20 to 30 years of your career on something already. Why to waste it? Let's leverage it. Let's build a niche out of that one. One of the biggest piece, which you always going to give you the head start is the micro niche. This is my 5E process. How do you really find out your niche? What's your experience? Broader base is going to give you the breadth. That means that broader experience, you worked in 3-4 different companies, you started 3-4 different businesses, you got a breadth of experience. This is going to give you this platform to stand on. Then comes your expertise. That means among that experience, which one is your expertise, where you are very deep. That defines your depth. And then the ecosystem, that what are the things, what are the opportunities or leverages you have that you can use to build your strong niche. And then is the energy. Energy is, why do you want to do this? I mean, what's driving you? What's pushing you to be expert in that particular niche area? And the last part is the effort. You need to consider effort. How soon you can become an expert or an authority in a given niche? Is it going to take longer time? Is it going to be taking much more efforts? So those are the considerations that you need to put it in play. Let's talk about experience first. Experience is you have passed through so many job titles. Make the list of all the job titles you have. Make the list of all the discipline you worked in. Make the list of all the domains you have worked in. And maybe list of all the membership you hold. Even the education degrees, any kind of research you have done, any kind of volunteer work you have done. List it out. That becomes your experience, a broader experience. That's the number one. Then we are going to go down to looking at your expertise. What's your best expertise? What are the 2-3 areas where your expertise is better than your peers, or probably better than anybody else you have known so far? Where your competence is really great, and what kind of outcomes you have produced, because outcomes will determine you have expertise or not. If a surgeon performs 97% of successful operations, that surgeon is going to be considered as an expert. So the outcome matters. Credential, what kind of certificate you have, what kind of award you have gotten, have you featured anywhere? What's your credibility? What people see your credibility? Are you working for a Fortune 500 company? Was your client a Fortune 500 company? So what credibility you have? So you're going to need to list down everything. What kind of content you already have? Have you written a book? Because book can also establish you as an expert. What kind of research you have created? So that comes under expertise. Then comes the ecosystem. Ecosystem is what you can leverage. When you want to become an authority in a given area, you first need to look at it, what you already have. Maybe you have a YouTube channel. You have a good amount of subscribers. If not, maybe then who are the people in your connections? Who are your friends? Who are your clients? Have you served people? Have you built a relationship? And what kind of people you have served? Have you served people only in the tech industry? If yes, then probably tech is your biggest opportunity to get your niche. When was the last time you looked at your LinkedIn? Do you know that in LinkedIn, it tells you that your connection come from this and this and this industry or this kind of job roles? How many percentage out of them are CEOs? How many percentage are their managers? How many of them are project managers? So if you see that you have to look at what you already have. If you're trying to build a niche in students, but then you figure out that you have not even a single student in your LinkedIn connections, you already lost a little leverage there. So part of the leverage here on the ecosystem is you start with something which you already have. So part of this one is we try to understand what kind of engagement and opportunities we have. Am I the member of any certain forums where I can go and probably speak? So those are the part of the ecosystem. Then comes the energy. You also need to be very careful. Motivators. What are your dreams? What do you really want to do? And is it same thing as what you've done in the past? Or is it something totally new? So imagine if it is totally new, you're dreaming about something, but you have never done it before, but now you want to do that. Now you're going to need to start from the scratch and build your niche and then build your authority. So you need to be very clear. What are your motivators in a given niche, what you want to get into? Now, last part is efforts. You don't want to create a niche where you're going to need to take 20 years to travel that path. You want where you already have a content, where you have written articles. Maybe you have done some project which gave you great experience, so great experience that you can leverage it right away. You don't want to reinvent the thing. You want to leverage what you already have. Also, very important part is today, if you start a business of something, how much is your acceptability? People are going to accept it quickly or not? Do you even have friends and your circle who are going to immediately take your services? If yes, that's a least effortful path, and that's what you want to take. The reason why I had this book on the cover of slide was because it's very important to have a story about your micro niche. You should be able to stand on the stage or be able to address your audience that this is the reason why I am working in this area. This is why I want to be in this particular domain, this particular niche. Do you have a powerful story that people cannot ignore? When I go out, I tell people I can't walk, but I'm going to teach you how to walk faster. That's my story. It is such a powerful story that people cannot ignore me because people see that I couldn't walk, and that's what they created the obsession for speed. And that's how I mastered the speed. And that's how I am going to teach you how to master your speed. Imagine when your niche comes from that story, how powerful it is going to be. And more often, people's niche is not very clear when they don't have a power story.